The sizzle of burgers on the grill, laughter echoing across the backyard, and the sun dipping low. Grandpa Joe's family barbecue is in full swing. His grandkids chase each other, sticky with ketchup, while his daughter flips patties. But as Joe reaches for a soda, his hand trembles. The world tilts. He collapses. Chaos erupts. Screams, a drop plate shattering. His grandson crying, "Grandpa, wake up!" Paramedics burst in, strapping him to a gurney as the camera zooms into his pale face. A heartbeat thuds ominously, fading into a voiceover. This didn't have to happen. 5 silent mistakes nearly killed Joe. And if you're over 50, you're making them too. Cut to a close-up of his wedding ring clattering to the floor. This isn't just a story, it's a warning. Your audience isn't just watching Joe. They're seeing their dad, their neighbor, themselves. Now they're hooked. They need to know what mistakes. Could this happen to me? The answer starts with a truth bomb. 80% heart attacks are preventable. But first, Joe's story has to hurt. Make them feel the panic, the guilt of, "I should have known," the desperate hope for a second chance. By the time the title card flashes, 5 silent heart mistakes killing seniors. No one's looking at their phone. They're leaning in. Imagine shadowy figures creeping into Joe's life like thieves. First, Mr. Cholesterol, a slick, greasy cartoon oozing onto Joe's dinner plate, whispering, "One more burger won't hurt." Next, Sedentary Sam, a sloth-shaped blob gluing Joe to his recliner, remote in hand. Then Stress Stella, a storm cloud zapping Joe with lightning bolts as he worries about bills. Checkup Cheater hides his lab results under newspapers, and Sodium Sue shakes salt over his soup like poison. These aren't abstract risks. They're enemies with personalities, sabotaging Joe in plain sight. The scene shifts. Joe's arteries, once smooth highways, now cracked and clogged with cartoonish traffic jams of fat cells. A narrator growls, "Your heart's under attack, and you don't even know it." But here's the twist. Joe fights back. The screen splits. Left side shows Joe's decline, gray skin, labor breaths. Right side flickers with hope, him gardening, laughing. The message? You choose your ending. Audiences crave stakes. Make the villains real, the battle visceral, and the payoff life or death. The host strides in a frame, not in a sterile studio, but a bustling hospital hallway. Machines beep, nurses rush by, and an elderly man wheels in 4-pole past. The host locks eyes with the camera. You're thinking, "This won't happen to me." But guess what? Joe thought that too. She holds up his unopened blood pressure pills. These sat in his cabinet for months. Sound familiar? Cut to montage of viewers' likely sins, skip walks, fast food drive-thrus, ignore doctor's calls. "Your arteries are screaming," she says, tapping a diagram of a clogged heart. But here's the good news. Fixing this is easier than binging Netflix. She grins, tossing the pills into a trash can labeled excuses. This isn't a lecture. It's a pep talk from someone who's seen the ER chaos and survived. When she says, "You've got one heart. Let's fight for it." It's personal. Viewers aren't passive anymore. They're recruits in a war against their own habits. Joe's doctor slams a chart on the desk. 160 over 100. Your arteries are like overinflated tires. One pothole and boom. Flashback to Joe dismissing his wife's nagging. "I feel fine. Stop fussing." Now, animated arteries splinter like cracked glass, blood cells squeezing through gaps. The narrator whispers, "This is happening inside you right now." But hope arrives. Joe begrudgingly buys a $20 blood pressure cuff. The scene? Him at the kitchen table, staring at the blinking numbers like a lottery ticket. 138 over 85, he mutters. Cut to his doctor high-fiving him. "We caught it early." The lesson isn't go vegan or run marathons. It's buy this gadget. Use it. Save your life. Viewers scribble notes. They're not bored. They're planning their Amazon order. A time-lapse of Joe's week. Dawn to dusk in his recliner. TV flickering. Crumbs piling up. His muscles shrink cartoonishly until he's a saggy skeleton. Sitting is the new smoking. The narrator intones, as a cigarette burns in an ashtray labeled 6 hours of TV. But redemption comes via flyer for Senior Zumba. Joe shuffles into a class, all neon leggings and hip-hop beats. He botches the moves, tripping over his own feet, but the class cheers. "You think I'm here for the dancing?" he wheezes. "I'm here so my grandkids don't bury me." Cut to him walking home, humming the song. No gym memberships, no weights, just a man rediscovering his legs. The message? Move or die. Your choice. It's raw, real, and weirdly inspiring. By now, viewers aren't just watching, they're rooting for Joe. And themselves. The screen fades to Joe's grandkids racing him in the park. He's slower, but he's there. A voiceover murmurs. Your heart doesn't need perfection. It needs you to show up. Text flashes. Start today. Your story isn't over. Credits roll over bloopers. Joe face planting in Zumba, then laughing. No AI polish, just humanity. Comments won't say BS. They'll say, "I'm buying that blood pressure monitor tomorrow." The camera pans across a neon-lit food court, grease dripping from Joe's cheeseburger as he bites into it with satisfied grin. But the scene twists, zoom into his arteries, where cartoonish globs of yellow fat slam into walls like wrecking balls, cracking the once smooth tunnels. A narrator growls, "Every bite is a gamble. Your heart keeps score." Flash to Joe's kitchen table years ago, his wife swapping butter for olive oil, him rolling his eyes. "Tastes like cardboard," he'd scoffed. Now, crumpled fast food wrappers litter his car floor. But redemption arrives in a messy, relatable way. His granddaughter drags him to a farmer's market, handing him a ripe avocado. "Grandpa smashed this," she demands. Cut to Joe, awkwardly mashing guacamole while she giggles. "Tastes like grass," he mutters, but he eats it. The lesson isn't kale smoothies or starvation. It's trade one poison for one hero. Show him grilling salmon with garlic, licking his lips. "Not bad for an old dog," he smirks. Viewers aren't preached to. They're nodding, thinking, "I could try that." A dusty ECG reports it's buried under pizza coupons in Joe's kitchen drawer. The camera lingers on the unopened envelope. A ticking clock overlay counting down. 72 hours to crisis. Flash to Joe's daughter pleading, "Dad, just go." But he waves her off, mowing the lawn. That night, chest pain hits. Sweat drips as he clutches a couch, debating 911. The screen splits. Left, Joe dials. Right, Joe ignores it. The left side wins. Paramedics save him. 90% blockage. The doctor says, holding up a scan of his choked artery. "You're lucky." Joe's hands shake as he books his next checkup. No jargon, no scare tactics, just raw fear and relief. The takeaway? Ignoring that envelope nearly wrote your obituary. Cut to him sheepishly handing his doctor a grocery list of questions. Ask, even if it's stupid. The doc says. Viewers grab their phones to schedule appointments. Joe's pacing the living room at 3 a.m., bills piled high, a storm cloud literally, thundering over his head. His heart races like a jackhammer. Thud, thud, thud. Stress isn't in your head. It's in your arteries, the narrator warns, as lightning bolts strike his chest. But here's the twist. His neighbor, a Vietnam vet with Zen vibe, drags him to a park bench. "Breathe, Joe." In out. Joe huffs. This is bull, but slowly his shoulders drop. The storm cloud shrinks. Cut to him napping in a hammock, snoring comically loud. Stress won't kill you. Ignoring it will. The fix is in meditation apps. It's a 5-minute walk, yelling into a pillow or belting Sinatra in the shower. Real messy human. Viewers laugh and exhale. The screen cuts to a gritty gym where Edith, 78, deadlifts 100 pounds. "Diabetes almost took my legs. Now I take its legs." She slams the weights down. Next, Frank, a retired trucker, shovels compost into a garden bed. "My cholesterol was a dumpster fire. Now I grow my meds." He bites a tomato like an apple. Finally, Martha and Lou, married 50 years, jitterbug in a community center. "We quit smoking. Now we smoke the dance floor." Their laughs are raspy but alive. No slick edits. Just shaky phone footage and sweat-stained shirts. No miracles here, Edith says. Just showing up. Viewers lean forward. If they can The host slams a stopwatch on a table. Pause this video. Now! The screen flashes red. Did you walk today? Yes or no? A 10-second countdown blares as viewers scramble to shout answers. Trick question, she smirks. If you hesitated, your heart's older than you. Cut to Joe panting up a hill, his grandkids chanting, "Go, Grandpa!" The host softens. Your heart isn't a deadline. It's a lifeline. Start small, walk to the mailbox. Then the end of the street. On-screen text. Unpause when you pledge one step. No one clicks away. They're too busy tying their shoes. Joe's granddaughter runs into frame, hugging him. "Grandpa, you're old," she giggles. He tweaks her nose. "Old? I'm just getting started." Fade to montage. Joe planting tomatoes, dancing badly, napping in the sun. The narrator whispers, "Your heart doesn't need perfect. It needs present." Credits roll over bloopers. Joe dropping avocados. Frank's tomato squirt, raw, unfiltered, human. Comments won't scream BS. They'll say, "I'm that grandpa, and I'm not done yet." The camera zooms in on Joe's cluttered pantry. Canned soups, cereal boxes, and a dusty jar of peanut butter. His granddaughter digs through it, gasping, "Grandpa, this is all junk." She tosses him an avocado like a grenade. "Try this." Cut to Joe squinting at the fruit, stabbing it with a butter knife. "Tastes like fancy butter," he grumbles, but spreads it on toast anyway. The narrator chimes in, "Your heart doesn't need a diet, it needs an upgrade." Flash to Joe's arteries, where cartoon olive oil droplets scrub plaque like tiny scrubbers. Dark chocolate's a hero? Joe scoffs, unwrapping a bar. Doc said 70% cacao. Tastes like dirt, but good dirt. He shares a square with his dog, who spits it out. The lesson isn't perfection. It's swapping one poison for one hero. Viewers smirk, thinking, I can handle one avocado a week. Joe's recliner now has a fitness tracker duct taped to the armrest. Asterisk 10,000 steps my SS, he mutters, rocking back and forth. The tracker buzzes. Congrats! 500 steps. Cut to him shuffling to the mailbox. Tracker counting each creaky step. I'm basically an athlete, he deadpans. Next, a wearable ECG monitor. He sticks the electrodes wrong, getting a reading that says alien heartbeat. His doctor face-bombs. Joe, it goes on your chest. But when he nails it, the screen shows a steady rhythm. Not bad for a zombie. The doc jokes. The message? Tech isn't magic. It's a tool. Even Joe's failed tries make viewers think. If he can mess it up and still win, so can I. Joe's porch becomes a rally point. He nails a handwritten sign to a post. Walking club, no speed demons allowed. Cut to a ragtag group of seniors. A cane-tapping widow, a Vietnam vet with a limp, and an ex-biker with a fanny pack. Strolling the block. We're not here to break records. Joe says. We're here to break loneliness. They gossip about grandkids, argue about baseball, and share Werther's candies. One day, rain pours. The vet shouts, we ain't sugar. And they keep walking, umbrellas held high. Stats flash. Loneliness kills faster than obesity. These folks, they're immortal. Viewers tear up, texting their buddies. Walk tomorrow? The screen suddenly dims. A heartbeat flatlines, beep. Close-up of a surgeon's gloved hands clutching a clogged artery, thick as a garden hose. This was George. The narrator says. He ignored his numbers. Don't be George. Cut to an ER. Alarms blaring. A senior gasping. Family sobbing in a hallway. Joe's voice cracks over the chaos. That was almost me. But the scene pivots. George's twin brother, alive and fishing, waves from a boat. He listened. You still can. No sugarcoating, no AI doom, just raw truth. Viewers white-knuckle their chairs, then exhale, I'm calling my doc. Joe's sneakers hit the pavement, slow but steady. A banner flaps overhead. Senior 5K, finish line or nap time. His grandkids sprint ahead, then double back, chanting, Go! Slow Mo Joe! Sweat drips, his face reddens, but he crosses a finish line. Dead last. The crowd erupts. "You're a tortoise, Grandpa," his granddaughter laughs. "Tortoises live forever," he wheezes, collapsing into a lawn chair. Split screen flashes his past self, gray, slumped, versus now, sweaty, grinning, alive. The host appears. "You don't need to run. Just move. Your heart doesn't care if you win. It cares if you try." Viewers grab their shoes. Joe dozes off in his recliner, snoring like a chainsaw. The camera lingers. No filter, no glamour. His granddaughter tucks a blanket over him, whispering, "Love you, Grandpa." Fade to text. "Your heart's not a trophy. It's a journey. Start yours." Bloopers roll. Joe's avocado fails. The walking club getting lost. Him tripping over the fitness tracker. Comments won't say, "AI trash." They'll rage, "I'm the tortoise now." And where's Joe's fan club? Because real beats perfect. Every time. The host slams a red button on screen, triggering a siren blare. Asterisk, drop the excuses. Your heart gets a 7-day trial. No gym, no kale, just you versus lazy habits. Asterisk cut to Joe scribbling a plan on a napkin. Day 1, walk to the mailbox. Day 3, swap fries for sweet potato. Day 7, text a friend. The screen flashes a QR code labeled "Scan" or "Die Trying." Joe's granddaughter mock gasps. Grandpa's gone viral as his phone blows up with notifications. First 100 to join get a free consult. The host says, winking. But let's be real, you're not here for freebies. You're here because you're stubborn. Use it. Viewers scramble for pens, napkins, phones. Anything to write down the challenge. No AI fluff, just a gauntlet thrown. Joe's Zumba disaster plays in slow-mo. Him tripping over his own feet, crashing into a potted plant, and emerging with leaves in his hair. "I meant to do that," he grumbles, spitting out a fern. Cut to the walking club getting lost in park, arguing over a map held upside down. "That's a duck pond, not a trail," the vet yells. Even the host flubs a line, snorting mid-sentence. "Cholesterol isn't a sorry. I laughed at my own joke." These aren't polished outtakes. They're messy, unscripted cracks in the armor. The message? Screw perfection. Laughing at yourself keeps your heart ticking. Viewers don't comment cringe. They tag friends. This will be us at 70. The host sits on Joe's porch swing, sunset painting the sky. Your heart's been your ride or die since day 1. It's carried you through breakups, burpees, and bad karaoke. Time to return the favor. She tosses a pebble into a pond, ripples spreading. You don't need six-pack abs. Just show up. For your grandkids, your dog, your damn self. A montage plays. Joe's first shaky BP reading. His avocado triumph. The 5K finish line. Every hero's journey starts with a single step, even if it's the fridge. No scripted tears, no platitudes, just raw gratitude. Viewers pause, hand on chest, whispering, "Okay, heart, let's deal." A local legend hobbles into frame. Coach Ramirez, 82, who coached Joe's Little League team 50 years ago. "You still throw like a toddler," he barks, tossing Joe a baseball. They play catch in the park. Ramirez's arm creaking but precise. Heart attack? Nah. Quitting? That'll kill ya. Cut to Ramirez's garage. Walls plastered with team photos, a defibrillator on the shelf. "I've had 2 stents and a hip replacement. Still coaching. Still living." Joe grins. "You're still a pain in my language." Ramirez snaps, smacking his shoulder. "Real salty human." Comments explode. "Where's MY Coach Ramirez?" Joe's backyard transforms into a heart-healthy bash. Grilled salmon skewers, a fruit platter shaped like a heart, and a no-salt sign taped to the chips. His grandkids drag him into a conga line, the walking club members shaking maracas. Even the grumpy vet cracks a smile. The host raises a sparkling water toast. To showing up, to messing up, to living. Slow-mo confetti, chopped kale, because Joe's cheap, rains down. The camera lingers on Joe, flushed and laughing, arm around his granddaughter. Text flashes. Your story isn't over. Press play. Fade to Joe's cluttered kitchen counter. A blood pressure cuff, avocado peels, a 7-day challenge napkin. His voiceover rasps, I'm no superhero. I still sneak fries. But now I fight back. Bloopers roll. Ramirez whiffing a catch. Kale confetti sticking to the host's hair. The final frame? Joe asleep in his recliner. Snoring. Tracker still counting steps as he twitches. Comments won't say boring. They'll roar. Joe for president. And where's part 2? Because real stories, flaws, farts, and all stick forever.